Gauntlet Hangouts Silent Titans in September run. This is a game of Silent Titans. Patrick Stewart's wonderful and weird module with art by Dirk Detweiler. I think it's his last name. The rule set is Into the Odd. It is being run on the Gauntlet Hangouts calendar, a place where games are organized, and we all have a good time. My name is Jesse. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be running this game tonight as your GM. And let's hear from our characters, our players about their characters. So I think Jason Zanes, do you mind going first, and then we'll just go across the character keeper there.
Okay, I'm Jason, Jason Zanes, and I am playing Sister Mary Philomena. She uses she, her, and I use he, him. She's described as a former nun and current pyromaniac. I envision her wearing her habit, and she's kind of a small, middle-aged woman, kind of mild looking. So far, she's shown herself to enjoy throwing bombs, putting manacles on people, and swearing under her breath. And she's carrying 3 Titan diamonds we shouldn't forget about.
Okay, I think that makes me next. My name is Sherry Stewart, she, her. I'm playing the character Belinda Hive, also she, her. She's described as a former bedlamite, and she sees things. Currently, all she's carrying is a cleaver and a soap, and I think it's going to make for a delightful evening, for sure.
My name's Jason Tachi. I'm going to be playing Max Goblins. Maximum Goblins. But, we're friends. Max is fine. He is, some people might say, an idiot from the future who thinks that this is a simulation. I prefer to think of him as the only one who really knows what's going on here. Or at least the only one who rolled his stats so low that he has a railgun and a polycarbonate sport jacket. And also, thank you very much, no longer just at 1 hit point, thanks to completing their first expedition, now up to 6 hit points. But he's the kind of guy who he beats the odds. Like, for instance, the odds were very much in favor of his stats going up, and only 1 did. So, yeah, definitely his strength is not as far below 10 as it was before, but still down there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he miraculously survives this one.
Yeah, and when you level up, feel free to go back up to your max hit points and strength. By the way, if anyone still has to level up, the way you do it is by rolling an extra d6 for hit points, and then a d20 against each one of your stats. Any one which you roll above the stat goes up. Did I say 6? I meant 3 of your stats. That is some basic D&D thinking. All right. While that's going on, does anybody want to recap a little bit of last session, where you did something inside the Titan Kronos?
Well,
without knowing that's what you did.
We came to hanging from a ledge with a large anthropomorphic pig in a mask shouting down at us from above that we would never stop him this time, and that we were going to be victims of his dementia bomb. We did not remember much before that. I guess we still don't remember much before that. But, we fell down into a sort of puddly webbed area down beneath, met someone who looked like a hodgepodge of random scraps, lost an ally to said creature, struck a deal to give the creature a giant pendulum that was hanging from the clock tower next door. Did in fact knock down some pendulums, I guess, at least one. Got attacked by skeletons with hourglasses in their chests. Ended up fighting a bunch of machine gun toting gorillas who, when you knock off their hats, had exposed brains with weird silver ants inside controlling their behavior. Went up into a room that looked like a skull, but like from the inside, with a sword piercing through the top and a strange machine in the middle with Titan diamonds on it. Ended up stopping this hog guy from playing a weird musical number that looked like it was going to do something pretty bad. Hard to say what. Pulled off his mask, turned him into a regular hog who, I don't know if we get to keep him as a companion, but I suspect he might have been washed away by the tide when the water all blasted through and sent us wherever we ended up next, washing up on the beach somewhere underneath a small person, I believe. Maybe a small animal who talked like a person. I don't quite remember. I'm a little fuzzy on that. Asking us what we were up to.
That is fine, yes. Bram still has Dr. Hogg's mask. I'm going to put that on his character sheet. But he is not currently with you. He seems to have gotten lost in the wreck. So, that may come back and it may not. We'll see. But yeah, you have found yourselves floating. You come to after the destruction of the Titan where you were, floating in kind of like murky gray water, alongside a stone wall that's just covered in junk of all kinds. Broken lobster traps and frayed rope and like the remains of a couple of like boat hulls and paper bags and those the soda can rings that you always seem to find by beaches, and they always tell you have to cut so that the seagulls don't somehow or another get strangled by them. Like the detritus of many times and places, just like washed up against this stone wall. And if you look along it, you can't that wall stretches as far as you can see. If you turn around and look out to sea, it's just that gray, murky water as far as it goes, and a gray sky, no horizon, just stretching on forever. And you hear from atop the wall, really right above where you are, someone say, "What are you doing down there?" And if you look up, you will see a boy pig in an old tweed jacket wearing a full moon mask.
Is it just like, I'm sorry, go ahead, Sherry.
I was going to ask if it looked like Dr. Ham's mask.
So it is similar in that it is a mask. I think one thing this was in the in some of the character the character generation thing I sent you, but it's fine if you didn't read it or don't remember it. In Weir Heel, there are animal people who are sort of granted, granted is even too strong a word, but who gain sentience and the ability to walk on their hind legs and some peopleness by wearing masks. Right, so you had Dr. Hogg in his maiden mask, and this is someone else who again says, "Hey, how did you get down there?" Much more politely than Dr. Hogg ever did. So similar in that he's a pig person. Seems much more polite than Dr. Hogg.
Have we landed in like a pool, a puddle, a stream?
I mean, this is like a sea, right? Like the water, the water basically stretches, like I said, as far as you could see in any direction except towards that wall. and there's no horizon. It just stretches on and on and on until your eyes strain trying to see farther.
So I'm just gonna kind of stand up then and kind of pull myself up on the bank and start
Right.
kind of wringing out my clothes.
Okay, so there's a wall there that you can't quite reach the top of the wall.
Okay.
Right, there's that wall that stretches along the curve,
There's no like
along the edge.
there's no little bank area in the front of it.
No, but just
water,
the
then
water
the
hits the
wall.
wall. It's
Okay.
like it's a seawall, right? Think of it as like a seawall.
Okay.
And the water is like gently lapping. And there's a lot of detritus, like meaning you can try to like grab onto the detritus and kind of pull yourself up. It's a little tough. And he's just like looking down at you expectantly. You want some help? I can try to help you up.
Sure.
Dad, do you have a rope or anything?
So he reaches down with a like a hook, like a shepherd's crook almost, right? It's like a boat hook, right? That's probably more what it is. It's like a boat hook. And he like reaches it down to like try and to you. Does one of you grab it? Go ahead. All right. So Sister Mary, you grab it. So you hear him like pulling it tight, like oh, you're pretty heavy. I'm trying to get you up, but can you maybe give me a little bit of a help here? Do something to.
And I will boost her up since I am the strongest of the party.
Great. So I think with your boost and the pig and the pig boys like balancing on the other end and tugging with like a little bit of comical flopping and kicking and struggling, you manage to get up to the top of the wall, Sister Mary. Oof. That was harder than I thought it was. Maybe you should help the other ones up. And he passes you the hook, Sister Mary.
Okay. I'll ask. What's your name, son?
He like picks up his head and puffs up his chest, and he says, "I'm Malgo Moonpig, at your service."
So I'm Sister Mary, and down below are Belinda and Max Goblins, and I'll help whoever's next.
Okay, I'm actually going to ask you to, like with the two people doing it, I can like it worked fine without a test, but if it's just one of you with the hook, you're going to have to roll it. The person at the top is going to have to roll a strength. Actually, just whichever one of you is stronger, we should roll a strength test. Let's do it that way.
Go for it, Belinda.
Okay. Let's see here. And I'm just rolling a d20.
It's a straight D20, roll under.
I rolled a 5, so yes, in fact, it is no problem.
Yeah, you just like swarm right up that wall. You barely even need Sister Mary's help, to get up there. Do it like it's nothing. Wow, that was really something. You probably maybe could have just gone up that wall without any help.
Oh, probably. I used to practice climbing walls all the time. It was the only way you could get a proper muffin was to just climb out and get your own. When I stayed in the hospital. So
good
what are you
muffins?
doing on this wall? And she'll reach the hook down for maximum. She'll ask him what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whichever one of you is stronger, roll strength.
But if I help, we can just pull them up. With the two of us,
Well, if one of them from the bottom did, like from the top, it's because there's just got that hook, right?
Okay.
Right.
Ooh, okay. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, I succeeded again. So I got a 2.
Wonderful.
So Max comes up easily.
Max, you both come on. Wow, you're really strong. What's your name?
I'm really strong?
No,
Yeah.
her.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Whatever.
Well, I'd like to know your name too.
Max.
Pleasure to meet you, Max. And you are?
I'm Belinda.
Welcome. And I realize, so now that you're all at the top of the wall, just so you can sort of see where you are, and then we'll continue this conversation. You're looking out, so to either side of you stretches out that wall, and up atop the wall you can now see kind of a it's kind of a town, a village, but it's made up almost entirely of dilapidated houseboats set in shallow, silty, muddy, mucky canals. The canals are all made of stone. And now that you're up there, you can see that in fact the stone wall that you're on is the wall of one of the canals. Asher is here, so I'm just gonna add them in. Hey Asher, how you doing? Not entirely.
I'm not quite set up yet with my headset, but I'm making a character.
Awesome. So just let us know when you're ready, and we'll just add you right in. We are recording. You're cool with that?
Yeah.
Great. So you can see right there's is the wall of this. It's a stone wall of a canal. These human-made canals, and there's like this small little system of canals with all of these houseboats. Some of them are completely destroyed. Some of them are basically fully built, but you could tell like still floating and functioning, but not in great shape. Fading paint. And like as you look, you can see there's some people there. Not a ton. It's a quiet place, you think. And yeah. So Malgo says, "Well, now that you're up here, can I maybe take you back to my home to dry off and yeah, you seem very damp."
That sounds lovely.
That's mighty kind of you.
Thank you very much.
So the pig boy nimbly walks along the wall, like hops over a narrow canal, and sort of like leads you through, pretty close. It's just like a couple bends away, one of the closest houseboats that you could see. And it's as you approach it, you see that there's as you saw from a distance, there's paint. It's painted and it's kind of chipped and faded, but like very, very clearly on the side of the boat there is a man in a black top hat. That's like the distinctive motif there. And as you're standing sort of outside the boat, Malgo opens the door and sort of gestures in and says, "Welcome to my humble abode." And I think you're going to find Asher's character in there when you enter. I found someone else floating in the water earlier too. Another poor fellow. Poor person. Very strange. No one's been here for years from that side, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, 5 of you.
What side did we come from? Do you know anything about that?
Are you asking what direction you came from?
Yeah, because like when we landed, we didn't there was no tower behind us or anything, was there? Or
no, just I didn't really see you sort of like come in so much, kind of you were just sort of like bobbed up. You came in from the kind of, I'm not so good with directions. I think it's like you see him like looking up at the sun to sort of like see where it is in the sky, and like looking at shadows, and like honestly checking a whole bunch of things that you're not even really sure what they were so much. He's like, I guess you came in from the northeast-ishness something like that. Directions are funny here,
Yeah, I noticed that.
Would you like to come in, or do you want to just sit out here and stay wet?
I'll go in.
Yeah, sure.
You wouldn't have a cup of tea, would you?
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
When you say directions are funny, do you mean like funny haha or funny like skeletons have compasses in their chests?
I mean, it might be funny if someone like you don't like starts walking in one direction and goes in another and then falls in a pit. That can be funny. But if it's someone you like, it's more funny the first one.
Okay.
Second one.
Good.
With the skeletons.
The skeleton, right. That wasn't a metaphor, but okay.
Suit yourself. Suit yourself. So yeah. And you enter into the into the houseboat, which as you get in, you realize like it's not actually floating. Like the water is too shallow. It's just sort of like stuck in the mud at the bottom of the canal. Like you don't feel it sort of bobbing in the water. And not for any magical reason, but just because the water, it's just like there. And so you're sort of like, he invites you in, and he offers you tea. He like has like a little, you're not actually sure what powers it. Like it's not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Max has seen a stove like this at some point in the far future, right? But like it's like a little. There's no visible light when it heats the very old-fashioned cast iron tea kettle that's on top of it. And he rummages through a cabinet and pulls out some tea leaves, and he puts them in the bottom of each cup, and he stirs them as the water boils. He says, "So I still like," and he gets you some towels to dry off. So what brings you here?
Well, we were in the water and you helped us out. But before that, we vanquished a terrible foe.
A terrible foe?
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
And she kind of looks back at Sister Philomena.
I kind of whisper like, careful, it might be a relative.
And I say, do you have any family here, Moa?
No family. I don't remember it so well. I kind of wandered in from Wales. And I found this mask, and then here I was. It's a very nice mask, right? It becomes me.
It's a very nice mask, and we are very fortunate to have met you, particularly that very moment just now.
Yeah, you look awesome.
Handsomest moon pig you ever did see.
We actually we have a lot in common. You just wander in one day. You don't really remember too much before that. Maybe you wake up and like a hollowed out Titan or something. It's just these things happen, right? I assume we killed a Titan. And then there was this mean guy who was like, I'm going to wake up the Titan that you, oh great Titan killers, killed. And then, we had to mess him up. It's just
You
the way
killed
it was.
a Titan?
I assume so.
That is very exciting.
Yeah.
The Titan. I don't really understand how they work, but the Titans are here and they're dreaming, and that is good. I don't know if killing them is better. Probably better than waking them.
Could you elaborate on the dreaming part?
I don't know. That's just something someone told me once. Turnus Goatstar likes to talk about the Titans constantly.
Turnus?
Turnus, that's his name. He lives in the boat down the other end of the canal. He's always saying, and you can see he's like doing an impression now. He tries to make his voice deeper and scratchier. Slaves of the simulator. Something near falling. Something about mechanical Cannon Mouth? I don't know. He says a lot of things.
Did you say simulator?
That's something that's a word Turnus uses.
Knew it.
What?
You should know he's not very bright, but he probably can find you a place to stay if you want to hang out for a little while.
Yeah, I think we're gonna want to talk to this Turnus.
All right, so just for a moment. So you're here in this town. You can hang out. I'm gonna, you can, if you want to take if you want to rest a little bit, if you want to, there is someone who sells stuff here. If you want to reprovision yourselves, and talk to people around town, and then or just hang out here with Malgo, who I'm having fun with. But basically whatever you want. We'll see. I'm not sure. Asher, are you with us? Asher, you with us?
Yes.
I'm not.
Can you hear me?
All right. So yeah, I can hear you just fine. Are you ready to go?
I think so.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah. So we're just gonna. So we're here in town. And then as you talk to people and learn what's going on, you can decide where to go. We're sort of in sandbox mode from here on out, just to give you some context.
All right.
All right. Although as time goes on, I may hard frame or push you in certain directions, just so that once we get to the end of the run of sessions, that we're not just we make sure to hit some fun encounters and stuff. But I'm not actually worried about it. This module is designed well, and there's a lot of fun stuff that will just happen, I think. Okay. So anyway, so I think Malga. So I think what happens is you see somebody at this moment, somebody pops up from under a blanket. Here's another guest I mentioned. Finally awake. I had to get a soft to help me pull you out of the water. Do you mind also saying who you are and where you came from?
I'm Skeleton 8. Where I'm from?
How you ended up here. You
I
don't remember
came
anything.
here
You don't remember
from-
anything, Skeleton 8, just so you know. Not
Okay.
a thing.
Well, I'm obviously from the future because I'm cybernetic.
Mm-hmm. A future. I'm not
So-
sure what that is. There's just kind of now. Well, pleased to meet you, Skeleton 8. I'm glad to see you're conscious again. So, I was just saying that Turnus likes to shout about the Titan something. Slaves of the simulator, mere men mistakes, cannon mouth, murder animals, stuff like that.
Okay, slaying titans, are you?
They said they did.
I mean, I assume so.
We're a little vague on some of the details that came before the more recent details.
As we all are. I see.
I'm gonna roll the 3 Titan diamonds out of my bag and say, "We got this from the skull of one of them, or the spine." Do you know what these are for, Mulgo?
Not a thing. They look valuable, though. Very valuable.
Hmm.
I want to work on fixing my railgun as we're chatting.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely, do that. Whether or not you get it done in this exact moment, we'll find some downtime. By the time you're out of the village, we can say you found some downtime and it's safe, and it's fixed. What was I going to say? So, time has passed. You notice that the sun is kind of starting to set. And Malgo said, it's really nice to have you here, but I don't have so much space here. I don't have so much space. I know that Turnus is always offering people safety. He shouts his thing about things. And then he's like, safety for a shilling. He shouts this all the time, even though nobody is here.
So I'll finish my tea and say, well, let us go talk to Turnus then. Which way? Point the way, Malgo.
1 second. Sure. And so Malgo leads you out of the boat. And he's not hard to find. You can usually hear him shouting, especially as dusk falls. And sure enough, within a minute, from across the canal, you hear, wreckers! They'll bash open your skull, rob your pockets, and sell you for parts! Thieves and killers. And they look just like everyone else. Stay safe for just a shilling a night. Malgo, there's some people looking for you. Ah, does it feel dangerous? Do you want safety? And he sort of like waits for you to come around to him.
Before we depart from Melgo's company, I will thank him and give him the soap that I am carrying, and thank him for his hospitality and his assistance earlier.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Yes. That soap has been inside the head of a Titan.
Oh my indeed. Well, I will treat it with the respect it deserves.
Yes.
So yeah. So do you head over to Turnus? I'm assuming yes.
Yes.
Safety sounds
The
good.
signal.
Yeah.
So Turnus starts talking to you. He says, "So are you looking for safety? What are you looking for?" There are so many terrible dangers around here. So I'm trying to find these voices. There are so many terrible dangers around here.
Which dangers have you seen?
Oh, the Welsh, for example. Who knows what a Welshman can or cannot do? Magic savages who eat their own young. Praise God for Lord Hugh Lupus. But what if one sneaks past the Legion's fort? If aid that terrible fate for only a shilling a night, I will charge you just a shilling a night for all 5 of you.
That seems a very reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of lean back and go, do any of us have shillings?
Do any of you have shillings?
What exactly do we get for this show?
I'll pull out a Titan diamond and say, is this worth a shilling?
It looks like it's worth much more than a shilling, to be perfectly honest with you. And I cannot give change, but I will take one.
We'll think about it.
I also know that Regina Cow Queen is looking for some people to run errands for her. Maybe she'll give you some money up front. You could try.
That could be good. It seems like it might not be great to overpay.
Yes. We don't want to burden you with something that you would have trouble exchanging.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Very well. I will take you to Regina Cow Queen. But if it gets too late and the wreckers get you, well, don't blame me.
Wreckers?
Yes, the wreckers. They look just like everybody else.
But
they will knock you on the head, leave you for dead, and take all of your treasures. Also your pants.
They come wandering through your little village here?
They could. They never have before, but they might.
No, you're not a wrecker.
You don't. I say I'm not, though. I will keep you safe from them for only a shilling a night, as I said.
Yeah, at least you're consistent. That seems not wreckerish to me.
That's true.
Before we go too far here, I gotta ask you, what do you know about Titans?
Slaves of the simulator.
Yeah,
They dream. Mirror men like paper falling. Wolves like brain mistakes. Thralls of the war god. Mechanical animals with cannon mouths. Murder machines with tracks and wings. I could give you safety for only a shilling a night. Excuse me.
The shilling's 100 pennies. How are we gonna get so many?
I said Regina Cow Queen. My Regina Cow Queen. Regina Cow Queen may have job for you.
We'll go and inquire then.
Mm-hmm. You head over that way. Her boat is there.
It's like a swampy area, you said?
Yeah, it's canals. It's sort of these like very silty canals with stone walls. That kind of, it's not that big, right? As you're sort of like looking around, actually, right? Now that you're sort of in the center, you can really see the whole area. And you can see that like off to the south, is, hold on, sorry, I think I want a separate thing for that. All right. So off to the south, is like just sort of it looks like barren wasteland. If you look to the and it's bounded by the water that you saw before, right? That space, the endless gray sea. Which in theory you could get a boat on and see where it goes. Like you see sort of like the foggy land of Weir Hill, further on, right? Also sort of like south, more south, southwesterly. And then if you head sort of almost due east, there's a road that leads out. Like you get to the end of the canals, and there's a road that leads out of town. And then you're sort of heading east as you go towards the boat that Regina's in, according to Turnus. Just write her name down. The door is shut. And you can see painted on the side of the door, on the side of the building, is a number of people gathered around a table in like a kind of, it's hard to tell because it's faded and chipped, but it's like a chiaroscuro. I never pronounced that word right. Style. I used to have to teach like Renaissance history, and I could never pronounce that word right. So you're there, you're outside the boat, you can take a closer look at the boat, you can knock, you can look at the, you can wander off and do something else entirely.
I'm going to knock because this Lady Cow Queen sounds like she has a plan.
Mm-hmm. Hello, it's unlocked, you can come in.
Thank you. I'll open it up and go, there's 5 of us, is that still all right?
Yes, there's plenty of room indeed. And you go in, and there's a table. You see her sitting at a table. She is a bipedal cow. Somehow or another, she manages to hold things between the hooves of her forelegs that are function as arms very well. You're not sure exactly how that split hoof grips, but it seems to work very effectively. And she says, "Oh, let me get you some tea. Please sit. Tea and sandwiches. It's getting dark outside, but it's okay. We'll sort you out. I'll talk to, well, maybe we could work something out with Turnus. He charges so much, I know, but yes, would you like something to eat? Here, sandwiches." And she like shoves sandwiches in front of you. They smell faintly of fish that has been in a can for slightly too long. The tea, however, has a lovely sort of floral odor and is delightful smelling.
Excellent.
Max is chowing down gratefully.
The sandwich does not taste great.
I'll drink some more tea. Regina, would you happen to have a biscuit to go with this tea?
I don't believe so. No. I can get you. You can have some plain bread if you don't want the fish.
That sounds lovely.
But the fish is really quite delightful.
I'm allergic.
That's okay. And you can see she through her silver queen mask. You can see her like big sad cow eyes look a little bit sadder.
This is great. This is so much more flavorful than the protein sludge where I'm from.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, dear. There's plenty more where that came from. So what would you like to? You're here. You knocked on my door.
We heard that you needed some help.
Yes, you would help an old lady. That would be delightful. Oh, well. Yes. I don't know how to like. How do you feel about rules?
Rules?
You know, like when you're a student in school, a young calf, and the teacher says you must stay in your seat, and you must do the lesson. Like, how does that make you feel? Or do you want to keep the rules? Do you want to do what the teacher says? Or are you maybe a more adventurous sort?
Max Goblins has never met a rule he hasn't broken.
Oh, lovely. You are cheeky, aren't you?
I'm Max Goblins, just in case that was unclear.
I figured it out, yes.
Thank you.
Names are good.
Yeah.
I'll learn your names, probably. Maybe. I'm terrible with names. Faces, though. I always remember a face. So good, and you know how to keep it secret, right? You won't tell.
Never.
Max Goblins has never met a secret he did not remember. Hard to say.
Well, if you forget it, you can't tell it, then that's good enough for me.
Forget what?
So she like looks back and forth for a second, ducks out of sight into like a little closet area, and comes back with a carton of Lever Sunshine soap, Lever brand Sunshine soap, and she says, "Do you think you could take this to a friend of mine in Legion's fort?"
How far is that from here?
It's about 3 hours walking. Just down the road up. You saw the road out of town. It's just out that way.
Well, I think we all would be happy to do that, but Turnus mentioned that if it gets dark, we have to watch out for the wreckers. Does that sound...
Turnus is an alarmist.
Yeah. How would you mind? Could we do it tomorrow if we rested overnight in one of the boats?
I'm not in a hurry. You can do it next week. Just make sure it gets to Ecub Half Mask. Let him know it's from me, and whatever you do, don't tell the guards.
Never. Turnus says he would put us up in a boat if we had a shilling. Would you happen to be willing to forward us a shilling?
Okay, so I'll pay you 3 shillings for this. I don't like to pay in advance. Do you have something I could keep as collateral, maybe?
I'll throw one of the Titan diamonds out.
Oh my! That is some collateral. Yes, I will definitely take that.
Okay.
Yes, very well.
Could we get more than 3 shillings? So maybe we could buy a few things to get us along the road more easily? Or do you have enough money to exchange for the Titan diamond? Because we have a few other ones actually.
Mm, I really can't pay you for all of those. I'll take them all as collateral. I went into the other guy's voice again. Sorry. I'll take them all as collateral if you like. All of them.
No.
But I can't really pay you. I can't really afford to front you more than a shilling. It's very hard to unload. It will take me months, years to sell this Titan Diamond. Maybe if you do renege.
What do you think, Belinda? What should we do?
It would be nice to have some change to purchase some things, but perhaps as we travel, we'll find someone who can make change for a Titan Diamond. Or we can just find some change.
Sounds right. So we'll leave you a diamond. We'll take the 3 shillings. We'll spend the night with Turnus.
No, you'll take 1 shilling. I pay you the rest when you come back after you've delivered the goods.
Oh, okay. All right. We only need 1, I think, right? He only mentioned 50 times we need 1 shilling?
Yes, for all of us.
Right.
And then I may have more. Like I can, if you do this, I may. There's always things that need to be moved from place to place. Without the guards knowing, of course.
Okay. Is the fort on the water?
It's not far from. No, it's landlocked. It's not far from the water, but it's further in. You're just gonna walk kind of south, follow the road south easterly, in about 3 hours you'd be at Legion's Fort. It's very, very easy to get there.
All right.
So you want to go back to Turnus and see if he'll put you up for the night somewhere?
Yeah.
Sure. Did she give us the box of Lever soap?
Yeah, she gives you the box of Lever soap.
And is it bottles of like liquid soap or is it bars of soap?
Which would you prefer?
It's a hard one. Probably bars.
So it is bars.
Can we write in the chat who we're delivering that to?
Yes, I will tell you. Thank you for reminding me.
Thank you.
You are delivering it to. His name is Ecub Half Mask.
It sounds like we have to hide it somehow so the guys don't see.
And he wants you to deliver it. He's in Legion's Fort. And whatever you do not. Sorry, what did you? I missed what you said. Skeletonate.
Like what you said, that we can't show it to the guards.
Yeah.
So we'll have to hide it somehow.
Yes.
I could put it in my sewing bag. Is it bigger than that? Or would that be enough room?
Yeah, you could definitely put it in your sewing bag. I wouldn't be overly concerned about it. It's not going to be too difficult to conceal.
So I'm adding Lever soap bars to my equipment list.
Would you like one more cup of tea before you leave?
Oh yes, please.
And she pours all of you tea. I'm sorry, miss. What did you say?
Just said it's lovely tea.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
So as we're drinking, I'll ask her, is anything exciting happening around the village, Regina?
Oh, it's a quiet place. Very safe, very quiet. In all honesty, I'll even say, if you want to return that shilling, I'll return your diamond, and you can head right off to Legion's Fort. It's really the road between here and there is very safe. Very safe.
Why don't you take this yourself?
Oh, I'm just a poor old lady. I don't move as well as I used to.
I feel like I got a pretty good nap while we were bobbing in the sea, so I could go whenever.
Good night's rest wouldn't hurt.
All right, so you want to head back to Turnus?
Sure.
You hear Turnus shouting from the the dock leading up to his boat. Oh, the court of Wapentake! A crazed guard of craven cowards, cursed with catastrophic power. They'll mutate you for sure, but not if you're safe in a boat for a shilling a night. You don't even know who he's shouting to. He's already spoken to you, and there's no one else here except for the people who live here. It's very... So as you approach, he says, did the Cow Queen help you out? Can you pay me for a night's stay?
I'll show him our shiny shilling.
Wonderful, wonderful. As you're walking past his boat, he doesn't take you to his boat. He leads you to what seems like an empty boat. But as you walk by, you see that painted on the side is a ship in a storm.
There's a ship in a storm painted on the side of another boat?
Of his boat.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
He's got a painting of a boat on his boat.
Correct.
Do people do that? Is that normal?
I mean, are you taking a closer look to maybe see?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm very
Go with
curious
that.
now, yeah.
Right. So, so as you like look closer, it's all very faded, and yes, clearly people do paint boats on boats because there's a boat on a boat, and now that you're looking closer, you can see that like very starkly. And then maybe there's like a mountain shaped like a person, but maybe it's a giant person falling. It's hard to tell. And now as you're like getting a close look to see, like, is that really a boat painted on a boat? Who does that? You can see that there are you're not sure, maybe 5, maybe 6 people on the boat.
Do any of them have a top hat on?
None of them have a top hat on, though.
Hey, Turnus, what's the painting?
It's a painting. There's a boat.
Who are the people?
I don't know. I didn't paint it.
Who painted it?
Whoever painted the boat, I don't know. This was here when I got here. None of us actually painted. You know, we just kind of colonized the place. It seemed safer than, out there where the wild ones, cursed by Weirhill, eat only plants, so they say. But who can be sure? Would you risk being eaten by a woodwoes?
What now?
A woodwoes.
That's a what?
So yeah, you know what the woodwoes are. The woodwoes are the curse of Weirhill. Is that any true human who spends enough time in Weirhill eventually turns into a woodwoes, which is a sort of sheep. It's a sheep-like creature. I don't want to find the piece because I have forgotten. But it's like a sheep. Yeah, it's like
back to us.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that this isn't like some when he says it, it sort of pops into your head. This is information that you would know. Right? They're like green-haired plant-eating creatures. They're very strange looking. They're like humans but quadrupeds. And you know that like humans who spend too much time in Weirhill slowly eventually turn into them.
And that place you mentioned, is that where we're at now?
Yes, this is Weirhill. Yes.
Oh, okay. Do we see any woodwoes walking around, or
No. This is a pretty empty place.
do we see any true humans walking around?
I mean, so are you asking Turnus? Or are you asking me if you definitely don't see any? You can ask him if any of them live in town.
I say so. I look around, the companions.
And of course, you and Max Goblins and Belinda are all true humans.
Right. And I'm starting to think. So are we in danger of becoming one of these things, Turnus? How long does it take?
Unclear. You definitely could. It could happen. It's very slow, and sometimes it takes many years. Sometimes, in theory, it could happen in like a week or 2, but I've never seen such a thing. Mechanically, I'm going to let you know. This was in some of the stuff I sent you, I think. But mechanically, basically what happens is every day you're in Weirhill, and like when you go to bed tonight, I'm going to roll this. You have a 1%, like it's a cumulative 1% for each day of getting a mutation. There are 8 possible. There's like 8 effects. I probably would have. I should have mentioned it earlier, but to be perfectly honest, completely forgot about it until it came up here. But I think it was in the character generation stuff I sent you also.
I didn't see it. I don't know if it's in what we got. We only have a few pages though.
Oh yeah, no, it's what's a wood woes, but not the stuff about the percentage chances. You're right.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, so yes, there is a very small chance of slowly mutating into one.
Okay.
I think it's unlikely to happen to any of you on this particular in these 4 sessions, but it is a remote chance that one of you gets a mutation.
Yeah, I was going to say one of us is Max Goblin. So.
You definitely jinxed us now too, Jesse. So
Sorry.
we're definitely going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds peaceful.
And is there any way out? What's the name of the place where Weir Heel? Is there anywhere out of Weir Heel? Back to Wales or anywhere nearby?
It's harder and harder to get out of here as time goes on, and the Titan's Dream, closes in. There is the Demon Bone train from Fort Legion there, which will take you to Bastion. So that's a thing you could do.
Okay.
It's expensive and fast, and just like outside of character, if we want to stop playing Silent Titans and just play Into the Odd in Bastion, we can do that. That is an option that is available to you. But my preference is to stay in Silent Titans. You could try marching across Weir Hill to get to Wales on the other side, but no one ever does that. It doesn't. First of all, no one ever does that on purpose. It's Wales, full of horrible Welshmen. If not for Hugh Lupus, who knows what they would do. And second of all, it's just harder and harder to get across that border now.
Lupus is the one in charge around here?
Fort Legion, he's in charge. No one's, in theory, I guess, he's in charge of Weir Hill, but hard to collect taxes nowadays.
Because of the Wreckers, Titans Dreaming closing on us, machines.
Yeah, Wreckers, Welshmen.
What do you mean when you say Titans Dreams closing in on us?
The Titans' dreams. They dream, and it makes space. And I don't really know how it works. This is a thing that people say. It's a rhyme. It's very scary. And he repeats what he was shouting about before, right? The slaves of the simulator, mirror men like paper falling, wolves like brain mistakes, thralls of the war god, mechanical animals with cannon mouths, murder machines with tracks and wings. They're like machines and they dream, and it didn't used to be this way, but now it is, and it makes getting places hard.
All right, maybe we can escape the simulation if we steal all their brain diamonds. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
I want to steal all the brain diamonds.
So he leads you to another boat, which is not painted, and in fact is like covered in barnacles and is not even in water, right? It's like the most silted, muddy of all the canals. But the boat seems to be sitting in that relatively securely. It's kind of like a flat bottom barge kind of deal. So you're not like worried about it tipping over. And you go in, and the smell is vaguely musty, as you might expect from a crumbling old boat. But there are 5 beds there, and what appear to be clean sheets. And, at some point, probably while you were with Regina Cow Queen, he gathered some food for you to eat and a little bit of fruit for breakfast in the morning. This is what you get for your shilling, safety from all of the horrors.
Thank you, Turnus.
And a clean place to sleep and some food.
We will recommend your hostel to others should we meet them on the road.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Yeah, chowing down now.
yeah. So yeah, he leaves you to your repast, and you can spend this time how you want. If you want to spend some time chatting, planning. Again, what you saw sort of as you walked in, right, is you can do the task that we're trying to set you on, and you can follow the road to Legion's fort. You can try and take one of these boats and get it out onto that water and sail off. You know, you can wander off into you can go off into farther into Weir Heel. Just like go there. And then you can I think those are all the things.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can sort of like wander. Yeah, that was and you can try to go south, but like it's really when you looked south for the first time, like before you saw it, it's just like it was hard to look. Like cracks of reality were like it was exploding lights. Very it looked Max would probably think it looked kind of like a set of like three-dimensional, like a hologram kind of think like a holodeck projection from Star Trek, like coming apart and fizzling and coming back together. Like that's what it would probably look like to Max, especially given his current beliefs about where he is.
Yeah. That's where they ran out of processing power over there.
It's past the draw distance.
Hold on, is
Yeah,
Asher
you
back?
get it.
Sorry, are you back, Asher?
Yeah. I just
Great.
don't have a camera, so it kicked me out.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, really? Did it say no camera? Did it say that's why it let?
Yeah, well, I tried to add a camera, and then
Okay.
it didn't like that.
Anyways, you're back now. We are very happy to have you.
Yay.
Wonderful. So I think let's take a 10-minute break. Come back after 20 past the hour, and then if you want to talk through your plans, enjoy your repast, and then we'll move on from there. Sound good?
Cool.
Yep.
Great. Just checking. You with us, Asher? Apparently not. So let's give them another minute.
Jesse, we got a Tommy gun last week. Is that something we can use? Does it have ammo or any of that kind of stuff, or you just shoot it?
Yeah, it has basically, you can tell it has one round's worth of ammo.
Okay.
And you know, you may remember from the last session that like from a distance, it's hard to control an aim in one shot. It's sort of, so like if you want to make sure that it hits, you need to be pretty close. That's something you learned from I figure it's worth reminding you just because that was a week ago.
Yeah, I think Max or somebody tried to shoot it, or maybe that was
It was Bram, I think. Yeah,
Bramwell, yeah.
tried to shoot it and it was like, nope. Hold on one second. There we go. That's better. You with us, Asher? All right. I think we're gonna. I'll give them one more minute. I'll give them one more minute. Oh, I have a guest. Hello, friend. There's a puppy saying hi that you can't really see. There she is, but she's there.
Cute.
I'm always jealous of all the people on the Gauntlet whose pets can show up on camera. And I try to get her to hop up onto my lap. She never will. So now I'm showing her off. All right, we're gonna go ahead. Hopefully Asher will return shortly. So morning has come. The three of you who are true humans do not seem to have changed at all. I don't know that your characters expected you to, but I rolled checks for all three of you, and no one even came close to the 1 out of 100 that was necessary to roll that mutation die. So you wake up, you're enjoying your repast.
Shall we deliver some soap? Anyone else want to do anything?
Yeah.
I mean, you can make off with the soap if you want.
Regina was offered us 3 shillings for the job. Is that?
Oh, yes, 2 plus the return of your Titan diamond.
Right. Sounds like just a short job. You said it was a 3-hour walk.
Oh, it's a 3-hour walk to Legion Fort. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, seems like a good way to get to know the lay of the land a little bit, and maybe spot some more Titans we can steal brain diamonds from. Not steal, I mean reclaim, really.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you make your way. We seem to have lost Asher again. You make your way out of the town, which I realize no one has ever told you the name of, but it's Ellismere. By now you would know that. I may have spelled that wrong. It's fine. You follow the road. It takes you about 3 hours. So it was if you left first thing in the morning, say 7 o'clock, You arrive by 10. And you find yourselves outside a gate of a. It's not quite a large city, but let's say it's a large town surrounded by a wall. Rising above the wall on the far side of the city from the gate you're coming in, you can see the spires of a cathedral and the towers of a castle. And as you get to the gate, you see a pair of guards, in kind of like medievalish armor, with almost like World War I style German helmets with the spike on top, and carrying Remington rifles. And they stop you before you enter, and one of them says, "What's your business? What's your business?"
We're here to buy things. We need to resupply.
Well then, it's always good to have people doing business in town. Are you carrying any arcanum or unlicensed wreck?
Nope,
I don't think so.
not a one.
None of you are Welsher wreckers, are you? No Welsh wreckers or woodwoes unless they're on a leash. The woodwoes. Welsh wreckers aren't allowed leash or no leash.
Nope, not me.
Wonderful. All right. So just
No.
make sure you have bed and board before sundown, or we'll kick you out on your asses. Otherwise, welcome to Legion's Fort.
Thank you.
And as they let you in,
Are they animals
No,
in masks?
they seem like they both seem to be true humans. Although it's hard to, like, one of them has their helmet pulled very low. They're not wearing a mask for sure, but it's sort of hard to see. Seems like a true human, but could be a robot, or really anything that's vaguely humanoid. Okay, so as you walk in, you see there's sort of like one main road cutting through the middle of town. There are some side paths. There are houses, and immediately to your left as you walk in are stocks, and in the stocks you see a person of indeterminate size, age, gender, social class, with their head and arms in the stocks, and the sign, the word pedant, is hung around their neck. And as people are pelting him with you're not sure, her, with peas, they're shouting, "That's 4 things! 4 things! 4 things!" Yeah. And I mean, to your right is what looks like a sort of a large gabled inn with the sign Bluebell. In the center of town, there's a big market with any number of shopkeepers, some outdoor stalls, some actual buildings with stores in them, and then further on you can see the castle and the cathedral.
Hey,
Regina Calqueen did not tell you where to find Ecub.
I'm going to go up to one of the people throwing peas at the guy and say, excuse me. What did that person do to deserve this torment?
So the person who
Person in the stock.
Yeah. So the person you approach is he's sort of like a stocky, bearded man. Says, "That gentleman," and that is Daniel Trueman. He's a pedant. Can't you read the sign? He's a pedant. He corrects people's grammar.
Oh, nobody likes that.
You know, I think this time someone said, well, I've got a couple of pears in my bowl, and there were 4 of them.
Mm.
He was like, 4 is not a couple, 2 is a couple. That's 4 of them, 4 things. And for that, he's placed in the stocks.
How long has he been sentenced to suffer before he's let free?
Through today and possibly into tomorrow.
Mm.
Possibly not. We'll see. Hugh Lupus is capricious.
Well, we're new to town, so we'll watch out for our grammar. Make sure we don't make any mistakes. Anything else we should watch out for in our speech or our actions?
It's fine to make mistakes. Don't correct mistakes.
Oh,
don't be a pedant. No. Don't be a wrecker or Welsh.
Mm.
Other than that, frankly, order is not kept very well here.
Oh, one other thing. Do you know where we could find Ecub Half Mask?
Ecub Half Mask. I'm not 100%. The name is familiar. You could try the Market. You could try the Bluebell. It's the inn behind me overway. Those both seem like,
Okay. Well, have a nice
places you
day.
might be. Mhm.
What do you think, friends? Should we go to the inn, maybe? Grab a cup of tea?
Ooh.
Yeah, they did say to find
We don't
place
have any
overnight.
money.
Oh, it's true. And Asher, I think was
think we'll
Asher
find money at the
roboting
market.
for everybody else?
I didn't catch that, Asher. I'm sorry.
I think we'll find
I'm
money
sorry,
at the
Wilma.
market.
Well, you have things to sell. You could sell things.
Hmm.
You do have 2 Titan diamonds, which you may or may not want to sell, and some stuff.
We have a couple of APATs.
Yep, 8 hats.
I will seed my fortune on APATs.
To the market then.
Let's do it.
We could go buy something and then maybe get fair exchange for one of the other Titan diamonds.
We'll have to choose someone who's very prosperous and has what do you say?
Expensive stuff.
Yeah, or a vault in back or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
To the market.
Probably sells weapons or clothes.
Yeah, so you get to the market and it's like teeming. It's a very, very busy place, full of with many, many stores, and what you notice is that like above each store, there is a Bible verse. And you can find more or less anything you want here. You might need to ask around to find, to figure out what you're looking for.
Should we just do a little shopping and just sort of hand wave it, or do you want to role play it all out, or?
So I actually want to like, if you know what you want to get, like you can ask someone, but I want to role play a little bit of it out, and then like at a certain point we can abstract it. But there's some cool stuff here to see that I think would be sad if we just sort of moved past it.
Okay. So I'd like to look for someone that sells explodey things.
Ah, so so I see. Are you looking at the gentleman says, are you looking for a gun or are you looking for a bomb?
I would pull out a Molotov cocktail and say a bigger version of this.
Ah, I see. Well, in that case, you should look for the store with the verse, "My God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory by Jesus Christ." And talk to Octoloth.
Okay.
She will have what you're looking for.
So I'll wander off that way and look for that verse.
Yeah. So you find the store with the with that verse on it, and you walk in, and in there is Octoloth, a ogre of a woman, 10, let's say about 7.5, 8 feet tall, very well dressed, green skin, um, uh, spiky hair, and she says, "Well, what? Welcome to my store. What can I get you?"
Are you Octolov?
Yes, I am Octoloth.
I have been pointed in your direction. Someone told me that you are the person to speak to if you want to buy things that blow up. Go ahead.
I have many incendiaries.
I would love to buy a tear gas grenade. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong page. I would like to buy a flashbang, a smoke bomb. I don't see the other. There was a bomb that just like a fire bomb, I think they called it, but I don't see that on this list here. Oh, fire oil.
Yeah.
Fire oil. But tell me, do you have change for a Titan diamond?
Oh
I'll
my,
show it to her.
yes. That I can sell you. That I can buy from you.
Wonderful.
I can give you, let us say, 100 shillings for a Titan diamond.
Okay.
Isn't that? She sort of stops. She goes, "Is that right?"
That's what I offered you.
I shrug.
That's a single guilder, by the way.
It's like,
So I'll hand over the diamond, and I think what I'm asking for adds up to 10, 20.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I have fire oil,
Okay.
and I can sell you that. But that other stuff, that's like, I can't. But for the small fee of 2 shillings, I can tell you who can give it to you, who can sell it to you.
That sounds fair. How about I'll get 3 fire oil. I'll give you 30 shillings for that. I'll give you 2 shillings for the information. And then I think I'd get 68 shillings in change.
Oh, I don't do arithmetic. That's fine. That sounds right to me.
Okay.
Very well. So the person you need to talk to for off the books kind of things like that is Ecub Half Mask.
Ah.
And just look for the store. On the day when I act, says the Lord Almighty, they will be my treasured possession.
About where would we find that in town?
Oh, it's here in the marketplace. Just, and she gives you some quick directions. It's like it's not far. It's not a big town.
Thank you, Octoloth. You've been a great help.
Oh, my pleasure. Is there anything else you would like?
Anybody else want any explosives?
Hmm. Do you trust me with them?
Sure. I show you the manacles.
Okay. Well, I would like some more ether. Do you have that?
I can give you a good deal on ether.
Okay. And I would like some acid. And just a wee bit of poison, if you've got those.
Acid and poison are strictly illegal.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Do you have any?
No. But ECUB is the place to go for person to see for anything of that sort.
Oh, excellent. We will look then.
But the ether I have, technically illegal, but I have a license.
Excellent.
And she gestures to a certificate on the wall.
And this is practically medical purposes, so I think that this is on the up and up.
Yes, I'm a pharmacist.
Ooh. She stops and she says, "Do you have any sleeping powder?"
For what purpose?
Oh, you know, the sort when you can't get to sleep, so you put a little bit in your tea and then
Yes.
boop, drop right off.
Yes, I have plenty of that for that purpose.
All right. That would be what I need.
Great. Yeah. So,
Do you have rope and a grappling hook for when you can't get to sleep and you need to climb something to burn off some energy?
yeah, sure. So at this point, I think we can just like at this point we can just abstract out the rest of the stuff except for anything illegal, which we'll go to ECUB for.
Okay.
Terrific.
And if you guys buy anything, just take the money. I have it listed on my character sheet. 68 shillings.
Yeah, I trust you all to do your own accounting.
Okay.
Also, much like Octa, I do not do arithmetic.
Okay.
And you still have one Titan diamond, which is unsold.
Right.
All right. That sounds great.
Well, good news, guys. We found out where ECUB is. Somewhere nearby. Shall we head over there? Anyone want to do any other shopping? Weapons, armor, clothing?
Yes, I could use some better boots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you just like buy whatever you want to buy here. I'm not gonna
I'm very curious what Max's philosophy is for outfitting himself. Since I go for small things that I can hide because I'm used to having to hide all my possessions. But how does Max outfit himself?
Max is trying to look as badass as possible.
Oh.
He's got the rope tied across his chest and the grappling hook looking all shiny, like he's like fiddling with it, like, yeah, I hope I don't poke myself, but whatever. Do you have lock picks for when I need to pick a lock? That kind of thing.
Awesome.
I reach into my bag. I pull out some lock picks. So I say, I have some.
What, seriously?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Whatever. I didn't want lock picks anyway.
Would the Tommy gun be considered ammunition for industrial weapon or modern and science fiction weapon?
Modern and science fiction weapon.
Okay, it's too expensive then.
Yeah. So are you guys all set? You want to go to see E-Cub? Or do
Yeah.
you want to do something else? Yeah. So you make your way around the corner, and you come to the sign of Philippian of Malachi 3:17. And you walk in, and you see a goat with half of a mask on, and over his other eye a monocle. And the other half of a mask is just like the image of, surprisingly, a goat, or a goatish man. But given that it's placed over the face of a goat, it's hard to tell the difference. And in a waistcoat, wearing with a waistcoat and a cravat and a pair of tweed pants, and no shoes, just goat hooves. And he says, "May I help you?"
We met the lovely Cow Queen.
My old friend Regina, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
She wished us to bring you
I'll
some.
like sneak, like I'm opening up the bag to show E-Cub.
don't open that now! Don't open that! Here, just pass me. Yes. And he takes the bag and he sort of like puts it behind his counter, and he like looks at the door to see whether there's any guards, and he reaches into the bag. You see he's rummaging behind the counter, and he returns your bag to you empty. Also,
Okay. Did he
odd that
take
you just gave me
all
that
my
empty
other
sewing
stuff?
bag. Very strange and frankly slightly rude.
Did he take all my other stuff too, or just the soap?
No, it's just the soap. I don't know
Okay.
why you gave me that. Barely
Yeah.
anything worthwhile in there. Not my kind of business, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You will find 3 shillings.
Awesome.
I haven't told you where yet. You will find 3 shillings atop the doorpost as you walk out. Because, of course, no one has informed him that Regina fronted you 1. You're going to have to repay that 1 at some point.
So I'll give him like a knowing wink, and say,
Winking is very rude, young woman.
okay. What do you sell here, E-Cub?
Only things of the highest caliber and the most completely and utterly impeccable provenance. Nothing that could possibly be seen as smuggled or wreck or anything else like that. Nothing illegal.
We came from someone I think you know named Octaloth. They sent us to you saying that you sell things that maybe Octaloth doesn't sell.
I sell many things that Octaloth doesn't sell. Octaloth sells only the cheapest of goods. I sell the highest quality.
Exactly. I'm going to nudge Belinda and say, ask him about the ether or the acid, the poison.
And she leans forward and she goes, I could use a little acid. I mean,
I certainly don't sell anything like that.
oh, that's what I believe.
He says, pulling back a curtain behind the counter and gesturing towards a bottle of acid.
Well, that is completely unsatisfactory. She puts she puts a basket out for it to get loaded in.
Yes, this is well, but if you want this nice bottle of milk, I will certainly sell it to you. Yes.
Ooh, milk. It's good for growing children, isn't it?
The growingest.
I've heard that. Yes, that I need.
You can grow children?
Well, at some point they do that. I suppose you help, right?
What about like a hawk? Can I buy a hawk?
A hawk?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose I don't generally sell animals here, but
Fine, whatever.
I know Hyder sells animals, I think.
Really?
Yeah, at the sign of Matthew 25:23.
All right. I'll take that under advisement. Thanks.
This place would
They're
have been
just
a
too
lot
hard to
easier to
they take too
navigate.
much care.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
growing children.
Yeah, you got to feed them. Damn. I thought maybe the whole simulation thing. No, forget it. It's a complex simulation. Thank you.
May I get you anything else?
Well, would you have any cyanide? I understand that has nutritional properties as well.
Of course not. It's illegal and poisonous.
It comes from apples, right?
I do have some very nice fertilizer, though.
Oh, let's see.
It will grow plants quite tall,
Excellent.
and we don't have to go one by one through everything
Right.
you want to buy,
Okay,
unless
so-
someone particularly wants to interact more with eCub. Although he has more to say whenever you're done with your shopping.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can get our lists off. We'll go to the thing, but we'll ask him if he needs us to take anything back to Ellis, Mayor,
Regina.
to Regina.
No, nothing. I'm sure she's always sending me things. She's quite kind that way. We go back a long way, and she has connections to various people who can acquire the highest quality goods that are all, of course, completely above board and legal.
Like us.
Yes. Like you, yes. Like you, like me. No wreckers or Welshmen here. Never in this city. Never in this city. Hugh Lucas gets very upset.
I have to ask, what is it about Welshmen that's so awful? I've
What
never
is it?
met one. Yeah.
Well, first of all, they're from Wales.
Mm-hmm.
They are unbathed. What does that neighbor of Regina's has said? I've not been there often or recently, but he used to have a Turnus. Yes, the goat, the goat man, the moon goat. No, not a moon goat. There's a moon pig in that town too. Star goat. He's a star goat. He has a very nice speech he gives about the Welsh. I think nails them on the head about their rough exterior and they eat their young. It's terrible folks, the Welsh. I believe, and he looks up at a clock on the wall. I believe very shortly Hugh Lupus will be out on the walls calling out his daily curse against the Welsh. It's quite a thing to see.
And he does that every day?
Every day he doesn't do anything at any time sharp, frankly. But typically sometime between 1 and 2.
All right.
And we're getting into afternoon now.
Yeah, we'll have to head over there quickly.
I'm excited.
You'll see him. He tours the walls, and at some point he always stops and calls out a great curse against the Welsh. He's a sight to behold, our Lord Hugh Lupus.
Well, thank you for the milk. And I go to wink, but instead I give him a thumbs up and say, well, I think, are we ready to go, friends?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you head out, and I think like as you head out, you actually walk into
We grab the money on the way out too.
Of course.
Yeah,
Took that for granted.
Sweet.
Oh,
Uh,
the 3 shillings.
mhm. Yeah.
Got it.
You almost right outside the door, there's like half a dozen guards dressed in the uniform that you saw and of various sizes, shapes, species, and a near obese, angry looking, jowly, older, somewhere you'd put him in late middle age, balding with thin gray hair around the sides, gentleman, if you can call him that. And he is shouting and cursing his guards, saying, "Why must we move so slowly? I must get to the walls." And he actually physically bumps in to you, Max. Practically leaves you sprawling. "Who was that in my way? Guards!" And they settle him down very quickly. One of them helps you to your feet. And it actually appears to you like he's talking about going off and inspecting, but like he's kind of loitering outside of E-Cub's store, waiting to get in. "Well, what are you doing here?"
I got into the store. He told me where I could buy a hawk.
He like looks at you, puzzled, as he shoves. You notice in his left hand he has a piece of meat pie that he just shoves the whole thing into his face. And he just like points at a place to buy, at a store, which presumably is where to buy a hawk. And then he like sort of pushes past you into the store along with all of his guard.
Can I ask? Would you happen to be the illustrious Lupus that we've heard so much about?
So he's already in the store.
Oh, okay.
But one of his guards turns around and says, "His lordship does not answer questions of people like you."
I'll give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, he looks pretty human.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
heard the name Lupus. Assumed we were going to be meeting a wolf.
No, he's just a guy.
All right.
I mean, this guy. You can tell just from your, you can tell what you can tell. You've gotten an impression of what he is like now. So you're out of the store.
Now, Max, if you're going to buy a hawk, you might have to ask for a fish or maybe like a shark or something to get a hawk, depending on what's legal and what's not legal.
I don't think I want to buy it. I think you got to earn it. Like it's trust, Like I think that might just be the way that it works. Can you really own a hawk?
Yes, you can.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
It might rip up your face, but you can buy it.
I'll think about it. Never bought a hawk before. Not like one with blood inside it.
Oh, well, you should get one that matches your jacket.
Is Max Goblin small like a goblin, or is he a normal sized person?
I mean, how small are goblins?
Well, in D&D, they're like 3 feet tall. So
well,
you tell me.
He's not a big guy, but he's not 3 feet tall either.
Okay.
It seems extremely likely that is like a computer handle that he got his name legally changed to. Just gonna throw that out there. It's a possibility.
Sure.
So, where are we headed anyway?
Should we go see Lupus do his proclamation against the Welsh?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you wait outside the store, like 10, 15 minutes,
Can we listen?
and yeah, you could definitely try to listen in. Tell me what that looks like.
I think that I will kind of, I won't stay in the front because that's a little too obvious, but I'll go off to the side and see if I can find a window or something, or at least lean against the wall to see if I can hear the voices coming out, because Lupus seemed like a very loud and assertive man.
So yeah, so you hear them talking, and they're doing business and completely legal things.
Oh,
You hear.
legal, like they're using keywords for things.
I mean, you hear Ecub speaking much in the way he spoke to you. I would never sell anything illegal here, my lord. I can offer you some milk if you like, or perhaps some. We have excellent dry goods, canned goods in the store, and his lord and Hugh Lupus ordering massive amounts of all kinds of things, and then reminding of course reminding Ecub that this is just his just tax as a lord of Legion's fort and all of Weir Heel, and not paying him with Ecub's, of course, great flattery.
Okay.
That's what you hear. And as Hugh walks out of the store, he sort of squints at you, all of you. Still here? And gives you another look.
We were waiting to hear your proclamation against the Welsh, actually. We heard it's something to behold.
A foul Welsh, yes. Ugh. Yes, I must get up on the wall and declare them anathema to all of Weir Heel and warn them not to approach. But first, you seem kind of the steely sort.
You know it.
I was talking to the nun.
Yeah, well, cool, whatever.
But he gives you all sort of like a once over with a squint, and it's like shrewd kind of look, right? Like, my army can't be wasting their time. Well, I'm going to go make my proclamation against the Welsh, and if you might be interested in some employment, meet me for lunch at the castle in about an hour. And he marches off his soldiers, and you hear him, faster boys, faster, as of course they are all 2 feet ahead of him, and he's trudging sort of slowly and heavily and slothfully towards the wall, and you hear him shouting, and if you wait long enough, which I assume you do because you've expressed interest, you hear through like a giant megaphone from the wall, all Welshmen listen. Do not dare step foot here inside of Weir Heel, or my boot will be at your unwashed throat. The blades of my soldiers will be at your backs, not at your fronts. We will not do you the honor of stabbing your filthy faces. And he just goes on like that for a good 15 minutes. I don't have 15 minutes of vitriol against the Welsh, who I actually find quite delightful and pleasant people. In reality,
that's for all of our Welsh listeners.
There's at least one Welshman who is a gauntleteer. I can think of at least one, and I wouldn't want him to think that I have anything against him. And in general, I find Welsh accents delightful and Welsh people very kind. I think, slight aside, so I think a lot of this is like a stand-in for the area of England where Patrick Stewart lives, the Wirral, and it's adjacent to Wales, and I think there's some little joking animosity here for their neighbors, although I'm not
Right.
sure. Anyways, so you can head to meet Lord Lupus for lunch. You can stand him up. Nothing is keeping you.
What did he call me? He called me Steely?
He
I'm
said
not
you have
steely.
he said you have a steely look. It was unclear whether he was spelling it with an A or an E though. An A or two E's.
Hmm.
You're not sure.
Well, let's go get a cup of tea at the inn, and then maybe head and go talk to Lupus. He's a charming fellow.
Yes, and he bought an awful lot of milk. That interests me.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to get that hawk too.
All right. So yeah. So you're gonna head to the Bluebell.
Yeah, just for a quick bite and a cup.
Sure. Yeah, you walk into the Bluebell, and you see even in the middle of the day, there's just like packed with rogues and failures of all sorts. It seems like some of them may be willing to work for hire, if you so choose. You know, you can also buy bread and broth, gin, rum, pie and wine, or a fine meal. And I'll tell you what that costs if you want any of it. You see a Woodwose there. You see a a bunch of troop people, a few animal people.
So how is the Woodwose here? Is he on leash or
No, he's off leash.
okay? And
You may have noticed by now that law is not as strictly enforced in Legion's Fort as the guards may have led you to believe upon entering.
what is this Woodwose up to though?
Standing by the bar with his face in a trough of grass. He's, his hair is long and green. His neck is kind of elongated. He walks on all fours. The Woodwose. Kind of.
But if he's eating at the inn, then either he's a pet or he has coin, right?
Yeah.
Garçon, 3 cups of tea and a tray of cakes, please.
Sure. That will be 50 pennies a person, please. So that's a shilling and a half.
Okay.
Aren't we about to get a free lunch in a castle?
I'm hungry.
There's always room for tea.
And cake.
Mm-hmm. So do you approach any of the people you see? Do you
Yes, I wish to speak to the Woodwose.
Yeah. So as you approach him, he looks up.
I say, good day.
Speaks very slowly. Hello.
I didn't know that there would be Woodwose here, so I wanted to introduce myself.
Well,
the Hive.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Green Stroud.
Green Stroud. I have a strange question for you.
I will answer as normally as I can.
Do you remember the time before you came here?
To the inn, yes, I was on the street. They were pelting a gentleman in the stocks.
I saw that too. But I mean before that, before you came to this area. Weir Hill.
No, I'm from Weir Hill.
Oh.
I grew up in Brom.
Where's Brom?
So a ways to the northwest.
Huh? Were you always Woodwose?
No, I'm still only about. And you see him thinking, not all the way.
Oh, okay. So what do you do?
I carry things.
Oh.
I I'm very cheap. I'll work for a bag of leaves a day.
That is affordable. Are there leaves that you particularly like?
Elm is good.
Hmm.
Sumac not so much, but I take what I can get. Not many people want to hire a woodwose.
Why ever not?
We are, well, I don't know why not. You should hire me.
I like that positive thinking. Before we leave town, I will stop by.
And he nods his head and dips his face back into the trough of grass.
Yeah, I go back to the table and sit down and I go, we can hire some people to carry stuff for us.
Sure. Was that Woodwose a nice guy? Polite?
He was polite and he seemed willing to work cheap for leaves.
Hmm.
Price is right.
Yeah, I'm for it. Let's hire the guy. What's his name?
I'll put it down.
Stroud.
Yeah,
Stroud.
it was, yeah, hold on, it wasn't quite that. Green Stotted.
Oh, Stotted. I'm sorry.
I may have swallowed some of that.
Green Stotted. He grew up in Brom. He's only partway Woodwose.
Mm-hmm.
It'll
So
be good to learn more about it. All right. So, Cakes, do you want to do the hawk before or after we speak to?
Yeah, I will note that the time is passing, and you may yet miss lunch if you don't hurry over there, which you can do.
Well,
I want my free castle lunch.
I'll put the rest of the cake in my bag with the other 500 things, and we'll head to Lupus. I believe we will trot over there. Should we say, "Come on, Green Stated,
Star dude.
Star Dude, Green Star Dude, let's go! You're hired."
Okay. He looks up and follows you, docilely.
Excellent.
As you get to the castle, the guard says, "You're going to have to tie up your woodwose out here."
Okay.
Do you mind waiting here, Green? All right. We have an invitation from Lupus.
Yeah.
He called me Steely.
So it's about 2:30. You are rushed into the Great Hall. Actually, not the Great Hall. You're rushed into the Great Hall and past it to a small side room, which is almost entirely filled with a gigantic table. You're sort of like scrunched up in chairs against the wall. There are two empty pie trays and a full pigeon pie and an enormous amount of wine at the table, which is covered in grease. Hugh Lupus is digging into that last pie just with his hands and like shoveling it into his face. Well, stay away from that servant. What can I? Well, so I've called you here. Have you been in Weir Hill long?
Not that I recall.
You lazy git, come back here with 3 more pies. I'll shovel some more pie into his mouth. So, you may not know this if you've not been here long. I am the lord of this place, and I have much power. But the Welsh are canny. Don't let anyone know I said that. Those filthy vermin, but they can be canny and sneaky. And my forces must generally be concerned with that struggle. And so I sometimes send people out, people like this steely nun here, and this tough-looking young lady, and also people with guns, large rail guns. that they don't seem to quite be able to carry properly, but that's fine. You just pull the button, right? It's not hard. To survey the land for me. And it's just, there's treasure out there. It's hard for me to tax. So the deal is this. You go out and gather treasure and pay my tax and give 10% of it to me. Simple legal tax. That's it. You're giving me a look, railgun person. What's your name?
Max Goblins.
Goblins.
Well, let me
Unfortunate
just
name.
What are you talking about? That name is rad. Anyway, let me get this straight. You just want us to go out, get rich, come back and give you back 10% rich?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to confer with my colleagues.
Do you have any idea of where we would best be going to get rich?
I don't know. There's stuff out there.
So you haven't got any maps or anything.
I mean, I can give you. Maps aren't great here. I can give you something if you want. And he rummages around and hold on. And hold on. I can't do this from here. Sorry, I thought I had this map prepared to give you at this point, but I do not. So you'll get a map of Weir Hill, which won't help you all that much, but it's a kind of a schematic map. That will give you like a rough sense of what's in what direction. But he says the map won't do you all that much good. You'll find that as the Titans dream, space is, you don't always go in the direction you're going.
Yeah, so how do we shut that off?
He just looks at you like you're idiots.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And takes a big swig of wine and slams it down. Anyways, I want to let you know the deal here. You seem the sort that can handle it, and I will take my tax. Don't think you can avoid paying it.
Okay.
Cool.
The map is very nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
So that's your investment.
What did he serve for lunch?
Well, he didn't serve you anything. He just ate his pigeon pies.
Thank goodness for those cakes.
Damn
Thinking
it.
ahead.
And he dismisses you.
All right.
Thank you, Your Magnificence.
Yeah, thanks.
See you around.
So on the way out, Max is muttering, so listen, I was thinking at first, like, this is like a super easy quest because, like, we're going to go get riches anyway, right? Like, all we got to do is give him 10%. That's a pretty good. But then I started thinking, wait a minute, we make 10% more if we don't come back here. So I'm confused, like really confused.
Well, we did have to come here to use the Titan diamonds.
Oh. Huh.
But if we can find another place to do them, then we don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah, wherever you go, you have to pay taxes. So Doesn't sound too bad, really. You know, somebody's got to get money to pay for the streets and the guards and the health care and, you
There's
know,
quite a lot of that going on.
yeah.
Yeah, the simulation's a real downer. All right.
So I've put a link to a map in the chat, but just so you know, but if you I'll put up a PDF of it in the folder for next session.
We look at the map and we're like, oh, this is, oh. For some reason, I was expecting some nice X's or something.
I do like this map, but it is not terribly useful as a navigational tool. So you are on the loose. It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So who can tell us how to find a Titan? Because I think we should wreck some more Titans. Or at least, you know, plunder diamonds from their brains or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't they say? Do I remember correctly? The Regina maybe was said that she knew more information. I don't recall. Didn't Turnus tell us to go talk to Regina? Or maybe I'm remembering wrong.
That sounds like a good idea, except I'm concerned we owe her money.
Well, she has your,
we owe her 1 shilling, and then she's going to give us our Titan diamond back, I think, right?
Right. Collateral. That's a thing. Cool. Yeah, we should do that.
Provided she respects the rules. If not, who knows?
If you leave town now, you can be in Ellesmere by 6.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Off we go. Let's go, Green.
All right. Green grunts and follows you.
Are there leaves for sale in the market?
No, but there are leaves on trees.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna really tax you for that unless there becomes a reason to tax you for that.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
You know, like this is dealing with the wood woes is an uncertain thing. Like, let's just put that up front, right? And so depending on the landscape you're going through, but I'll signal beforehand that there may be an issue. I'm not going to just like all of a sudden. There'll be a soft move before the you know, he decides to take off or lose his mind.
Okay.
And remember, he has been in Weir Hill for his entire life, and the Curse of the Wood Boys has progressed quite far, and that he's also getting that die roll, just like the rest of you. And his percentage chance is much higher than yours to get that last mutation. Okay, so you return to Ellesmere without any event and get there in the early evening. The sun is above the horizon still and not quite yet ready to set. And you actually see sort of towards the entrance to the town, a human being, male human being. Put him at you know, about 5.5 feet, dark hair, dressed shoddily, shouting at Malgo, "You owe me a penny, pig." I don't owe you anything. I returned you owe me a penny, pig. That wasn't a loan, that was a rental. Well, I just needed it for a minute to get the robot out of the water. And now you owe me a penny for renting it.
Max is
in the middle
gonna
of this argument.
Yeah, Max is gonna stomp right on over there and say like, "Hey, you're messing with my buddy here. What's the deal?"
He's like kind of shivering a little bit. He's like kind of clenched, and you see now his skin is very sallow and gray. And he says, I rented him my rope, and now he owes me a penny. It's basic commerce. Keep that Woodwose back.
Do we have any pennies on us?
I mean, I'll let you. He'll make change. Oh, he'll make change. You also have 50 pennies from when you bought the food, but
Yeah, well, I'll give you a penny to buzz off, buddy.
you're very rude. But he holds out his hand for the penny.
Yeah, I'll hand him a penny.
You're very, very rude. You're almost as rude as that Lord of Legion's fort, that decadent bastard. As he sort of stomps off towards a boat, right, which has like a fluorescent mural with a bunch of strange castles painted on it. Like muttering to himself about the inhuman freak who couldn't pay him back.
Max Goblins is very torn right now between wanting this guy to buzz off and also being really curious about his airbrushed wizard van or whatever he's got going on over
So, yeah,
there.
he has buzzed off, right? He has marched off into his boat. You can follow him to look at the boat if you want.
Sure, I'll go look at the boat.
So as you take a closer look, like the castles are almost like head shaped. The gates look like these big open mouths. The landscape like arms and legs, and you can see a group of tiny little people. Again, you're not sure, 3, 4, 5, 6, but the leader is a figure in red carrying a shield with a gold symbol. That much you're certain of. That's like the best you can make up. Marching inside the mouth of one of those castles.
All right, I'm gonna knock on the boat.
Yes.
Hey, we got off on the wrong foot, and this is a pretty sweet boat. Do you want to tell me about the painting?
Are you wreckers? You look like wreckers.
You would know if we were wreckers. We would have wrecked some stuff by now.
Where are you from? Where did you just come from?
Just now?
Just now. Where were you?
We were at that Legion fort thing. We were just visiting there.
That decadent town. No place for good human beings, for good people.
Did you tell me about your sweet painting or what?
It's painting. It's sweet.
Who are these people, the little ones here?
They're people. They were going into the castle, I assume, to fight whatever's in there.
Where's that?
On the boat. You're looking at it.
Yeah, but like where's the place in like the world? How do you get there?
He just like gestures towards Weir Hill.
Oh. Right directions. All right, well, good talking to you, boat guy.
I just want to let you know there is no safe way out as you walk away. Only the Demon Bone train, and those bastards at Bastion abandoned us anyway. They're not worth anything.
All right, cool story.
So Malgo is busy. Like as you get back, Malgo is thanking the other two. Thank you so much for all your help. A soft romance, asshole. Sorry, but he's not very nice.
Hmm.
No, you were right. He's got a sweet boat, but he's an a-hole.
So, you helped someone out with that rope?
Yeah, you're the guy that was staying at my house before. He was with you, but now I guess he didn't stay in Legion's Fort.
Oh, skeleton.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
crap.
skeletonate.
Oh, he wandered off and.
We weren't
I'm
close.
sure. I'm sure he's fine.
I'm hoping Brahm shows up. He would have been great at Legion's Fort. He would have known all those verses.
Who's Bram? Bram. Who's Bram? Bram.
Brahm.
That's off. That's off. Malgo just like keeps on saying the name in different ways for a little while.
Okay. Well, he might show up like where we did up by the wall.
I'll keep my eyes open for him.
Thank you.
So what brings you back here? It's not. Most people don't come back here.
Oh, well, we wanted to bring back news to Regina Cow Queen.
Well, she's here. She's still in her boat.
Okay. And it's nice to visit with you too, Malgo. Thank you for taking care of people.
Mm-hmm. Hello, my darlings. Hello. Welcome back. Here's tea. Would you like some sandwiches? Please keep drinking.
Oh, these sweet sandwiches again.
We didn't get much lunch, but I'm going to pass. I'm still allergic.
Mm-hmm.
Regina, I've got good news. Here's a shiny shilling for you.
Two.
We delivered.
Oh, just the one. No, you're right. Just the one.
We delivered the soap to. I forget his name.
Did E-Cub seem grateful? He paid you, I hope.
He was very grateful.
Wonderful. He's a very kind man.
How about that diamond?
Oh yeah, we need our collateral back if you don't mind.
I'm sorry. Some wreckers came by. They threatened my life. And they took the diamond.
That's not okay.
But they went off down the coast.
How many wreckers came along?
It was
1d6?
9. It's a D12.
Regina, not very happy about this.
I'm just a poor old lady. What was I supposed to do? But they went off. They went off down the coast towards Bronin.
And if we ask them nicely, you think they'll give it back?
Maybe. Probably not. They're wreckers.
Did anyone else see them?
I don't know. I was in here. Probably. You can ask Turnus. Turnus is always out, although he may have been hiding if there were wreckers about.
How long ago was this?
Round about 2, 3 mid-afternoon.
So by now they'd be in Bronin or past it, if that's where they were headed?
How would you go places? Did you get there sometimes, maybe? We're in Weird Hill.
All right. Whatever, I want a diamond back. Crime's a waste, and let's go.
All right.
And can she describe any of them to us?
Sure. She definitely can. 100% can. 100% can. I was very, very frightened, so I didn't get good looks at any faces. No faces. But what I saw was, I said there were 9 of them, right? Yes, there were 9 of them. There were 9 of them, and they were very. 2 of them were very tall. 2 of them were very short. The other 5 were, people-sized. Very, very people-sized. Some of them had hair. Some of them had masks. One of them was a sheep, I believe.
Regina, do you think there's anyone else in town that's sick of getting picked on by wreckers that might help us to get that diamond back? Maybe to teach them a lesson not to steal any longer?
Turnus does not like wreckers, but he will not. I mean, you've met everyone. No, this is a quiet place. And
Mhm.
frankly, we don't really usually have anything the wreckers want. Sometimes they come and they smash about.
Well, guess it's just the three of us in green.
Yeah, let's go ask Turnus what he saw. Maybe he saw something more that'll help us
Yeah.
identify this group for sure. We'll go check in with Turnus.
Mm-hmm.
At this point,
Yeah.
I'm uncertain if she's telling the truth or not. But
You see Turnus, making his usual pace around town, shouting actually about wreckers as he does. And as you approach him, he says, "Oh, you're back. I can offer you safety from the wreckers and the Titan Dream, the Welsh, just a shilling a night."
so were there some wreckers here earlier?
Wreckers, there are always wreckers about. It's very unsafe.
Was there a group of them here earlier?
There could have been. There often are.
Did you see some people here?
There's people here. Were they? I did not see a specific group of wreckers today, but I could have. They might have been. They're off. It's only safe if you come inside, shilling a night.
Turnus, can we ask you a question? Did you ever known Regina to maybe fib or maybe not
She's
tell
such
the
a-
truth?
She's such a kind old lady, but the wreckers are always visiting her. They're always coming by, taking her things. She complains constantly. She doesn't even have very many things.
And the wreckers, is there a time of day maybe that they rest, or do you know where they live or anything about the wreckers that we can see? They took something from Regina that was ours, and we want to get it back.
They're somewhere on the coast, but it's number one. It's so hard to find anything here. There's the road to Legion's Fort, and that's the best we can do. Brannon and Brom are that away, but once you head that away, who knows where you'll end up. The wreckers, we know they're along the coast because they're wreckers, right? They wreck ships.
Is there a time of day maybe that they all sleep that maybe we could sneak along and get back what's ours?
I don't know.
Okay.
They seem quite. They could be anywhere at any time.
How often do
I'll
they
keep you
visit
safe. 1
Regina?
shilling a night.
How often do they visit Regina?
I wouldn't call it visiting.
Yeah, sorry. Drop in on.
Every now and again, not just her. They'll storm through here, but my boats are safe. 1 shilling a night. They don't storm my boats.
How do you keep them from storming them?
Well, I lock the doors.
Oh.
You've been in them. It's not really worth the bother anyway.
Gotcha. Maybe we should buy a lock for Regina's door. But in the meantime, you say they're along the coast.
Probably. That seems like the best place to be a wrecker if you want to wreck some boats.
Well, I'm guessing maybe we go at middle of the night and try to not make too much ruckus and try to get our diamond back.
Yeah, see if we can get the jump on them.
Maybe we
Sure.
could wreck some wreckers.
Maybe I'll light something on fire, make a distraction.
Yeah, I like that.
That sounds great.
Okay. So do you set off along the coast by the water?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Do we see any like footprints or anything like that?
No, there's nothing. You know, you're like walking along that seawall that you were in, and you walk along it for a long time. Right, like I said, when you were there before, it seemed like it went on forever, until abruptly, and you're not sure because, like I said, there was no horizon. Without quite seeing how or why, it just stops, right? And you're at the coast. I mean, you've been along the coast, but now you're at like a beach, that you know, that's like lapping up against the shore. And it's dark out, and from a distance, you are able to make out. You hear you don't see anything actually. What you hear is shouts and screams, and you can see what looks like fire lapping a ship at the edge of the water. What do you do?
Well, we head there.
So
Kind of quietly and sneakily, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like try and stay beyond the edge of the firelight.
okay, so you see a group of 11. Well, there's probably actually about I'd say 30 people there. That's a lie. There's probably about 19 people there. The bulk of them are have set upon the minority of them, and there's this, you know, it's hard to make things out. It's very dark, but you can see in the firelight that this, and they're basically being slaughtered.
What one group is slaughtering another group? Is that what you're
Correct.
saying? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Who's being slaughtered?
I mean, you can't. It's too dark. You can't really tell who's who, but it's very clear that there's like overwhelming force being brought to bear by one side upon the other. There's not like really much fighting back taking place.
So, do we even the odds? Do we?
It's a little bit early, but maybe let's call it here.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yep.
Sure.
It's like 3 to 3.5 hours, I know, but I want to take some time for the thing that we do at the end.
That's
and-
good. I'm sleep deprived, so this lowers the odds that I just start shooting next time.
So am I, which is part of it also. And I think that this encounter is going to be a little bit extended, so we should let it have the space to breathe it needs and not rush it at the end.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to end the broadcast, and then we'll do some stars and wishes, if that's all right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming, assuming you were here.
Goodbye, whales.